Today we'll be creating these Victorian terrace houses with the pen and wash technique. Terrace houses have intrigued people for years with their quaint appeal, and they're really fun to draw. This project can be done in about 3 hours. We'll be learning wash techniques and how to create interest through shadow. So let's get into it. For materials, we'll be using some 300 GSM cotton watercolour paper, a 21-piece watercolour paint set, some graphic fine liners, and a 6B and B pencil. The first step is to transfer the image onto the watercolour paper. We have provided this outline that you can find on our website. The best way to transfer it is to flip the image over and shade the backside with that 6B pencil. Turn the image back over, tape it to a sheet of watercolour paper and retrace the line work with a sharp B pencil. Once the line work has been transferred, redraw in the line work with a 0.3 graphic fine liner. You can add extra detail if you like at this stage. These fine liners have a pigment-based ink and are waterproof. Now that the line work is in, we can add the paint. And the first colour to lay in is the blue of the sky. So I fill the water brush with water and activate the ultramarine blue pan and lay a wash into the sky area. And then pat it gently with a dry tissue. This lightens it in areas so the wash is not too consistent, thereby adding a little more interest. Before we start painting the buildings, we need to think about our light source. In this case, the sun is directly overhead. Terrace houses have a dividing wall between them that extends above the roof. We paint them in with a mix of yellow ochre and burnt sienna, and then darken the sides of the dividing walls. Next, I mix up a green from gamboge and sap green and lay this wash into the first house. I move down the page. With watercolour, the general rule is to start with the lightest colours first, allow the coat to dry naturally, and then add the darker tones over the top. The middle house is white, but white is never pure white, so I create the colour with a mix of Chinese white and a touch of Payne's grey, and lay this wash into the mix. I create an apricot tone from Chinese white, cadmium orange and a touch of burnt umber and lay this into the third house. I create a rusty red tone from burnt umber and vermilion and paint in the corrugated iron roof of the first house. Then make a mix of burnt umber and burnt sienna and paint in the 2 tiled roofs for the next 2 houses. The first coat on the greenhouse is dry now, so I mix a darker version of green and paint it into the shadow areas of the first house. There will be a shadow cast from the veranda and on the sides of the windows. This is important to show the different planes of the building. I then paint an apricot tone into the blinds. I lay some burnt umber into the left tree Then create a light Payne's grey and lay this mix into the shadow areas on the middle house, the gutters and the wall at the front of the house. I then create a darker version of the apricot colour that the third house was painted with and lay this into the shadow areas. The majority of the painting is done and we can put in the little details and paint the doors and windows. I paint in the other tree and more green into the garden. The green vegetation of the trees can be laid in with a mix of sap green and lemon yellow. I then add any shadow areas that I missed. If you love getting crafty, be sure to join our Creative Connection community. Free your inner artist and receive exclusive content, creative inspos and new ideas delivered regularly straight to your inbox. To join, scroll to the bottom of our website and pop in your email. It's that easy. For more projects, check out the Create section on our site. Access a whole heap of free content from projects to handy product demos. This is your new home of creativity and it's certainly worth a look. And voila! Well, thanks for watching. That's all from me. I hope you've had fun creating and we'll see you next time.